Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the next episode of the Hillbilly Files. My name is Leo, for those of you who don't know, and I will be your humble host today. We have a story about a man named Hibbard Cochran that we want to tell you guys today. Now, he wasn't a captain of industry or, a rich man. He wasn't a Henry Ford or an Abraham Lincoln. He was you and I. He was us. One of us. Now, a lot of us, I'm sure a lot of you have children, and I'm sure a lot of you have a daughter. Some of you probably have multiple daughters, a whole bunch of them. I feel for you. But the thing is, you see, we all know that say your daughter, she marries someone, she grows up, you raise her, she grows up, gets in a relationship, she gets with someone, gets married or whatever the case, living together, whatever the case may be, and things turn bad, whether it's abuse or whatever the case may be. You take your daughter back in, am I right? Of course you do. You tell her to come home. And she comes home. And usually everything is fine. Things work out. Sometimes they don't, though. Now, the story we have to tell you today is kind of Heather was going to come up and tell you this one, to be honest. I was out earlier today, had some errands to run. You can see it's not the best day to be out. But I had some errands to run, and Heather asked me if I would swing by and just see if I could find this grave real quick. So I came by here and took a little look around. It took me about 20 minutes, and I found him. And I left Heather little arrows, little love notes too. You'll see. I thought I would start the video up here on the hill and show you guys what I did for Heather. Unfortunately, when we got back home, the snow had picked back up again, and it was starting to get a little bit bad. And I'm probably a little bit more experienced, driving on snow and, weather like that. And this way, just come back up and do the video myself. But anyway, I just wanted to bring you guys out here and show you this old grave and tell you guys a story about a man who died before his time for doing nothing wrong. Now, like I said, that any of you would take in your daughter in the situation, in almost any given situation, you would take her back. But there's one of the I left Heather the little arrows right where you park, a little H and an arrow pointing down that way to get her started. Made a nice path too. I walked back and forth a couple times, and you can see where I was off roaming the perimeter looking for the grave earlier. Another one. That way. I don't think that needs any explanation. Ain't I a little stinker? Almost there. Left turn and another arrow. That would have worked. I'm pretty sure that would have worked. But right here is the gentleman that we've made this trip, made 2 trips, as a matter of fact, out here today to find. And I came out earlier. I found a Cochran right over here and kept going. You can see my tracks all through the graveyard, going back that way and out through there and looking for it. And I had a picture of the headstone. It looked like one of those. And I got out through there, got the picture back out again, and started looking at it. No, it's one of those that's wider on the bottom and narrows as it goes up. So I started looking for those. Came back over this way and found him. Hibbard Cochran, right here. There were trees down. I cleared the brush off of it and put his flowers back up. Told Heather there's purple flowers on it. But right here's his grave, Hibbard Cochran. 1883 to 1930, I think 33, 38. Can't really tell for sure. I didn't quite get all of the snow off, apparently. And I'm going to look around a little bit more while I'm here today, and I'll document at least some of this today. And as y'all know, we update documentation on Find a Grave and all of that stuff as we do all of our stories. We update all of that stuff. So one day when descendants come looking, some of you come looking for your grandmother, your whatever, you know, we'll leave you a nice big wide paper trail. Heather puts up documents. She has thousands on Find a Grave that she's done, putting up documents, marriage certificates and death certificates and newspaper articles and all sorts of things. So, you know, there's a really good benefit, you know, aside from the storytelling and the telling you guys the stories about men like Hibbard and all of this awesome history. And it's very interesting to hear, you know, but there is also, you know, there's other work going on in the background. You know, we'll just put it that way. And, you know, we just want you guys to know what you're supporting when you watch our channel. We'll put it like that. But as far as Hibbard now, let's get back to Hibbard. I want to read a newspaper article about his death that I wanted you guys to hear. Now, this is a newspaper article about his trial. A jury in the Pike County Circuit Court here late yesterday afternoon deliberated 35 minutes before returning a verdict finding John Galley, a Pond Creek resident, guilty of murder in connection with the fatal shooting of his father-in-law, Hibbard Cochran, at Dameronton on September 18th. He was sentenced to life in the state penitentiary. Though Galley made a plea of self-defense, 5 members of the jury are reported to have at first favored the extreme penalty. Galley is reported to have gone to the home of his father-in-law, Mr. Hibbard Cochran here, where his estranged wife was staying, and to have shot Cochran in the back as he started into the house from the front porch. The prosecution contended he fired 2 more shots into Cochran's body after he fell, then entered the house and secured a shotgun and a butcher knife before leaving. Galley contended that Cochran had first slashed him with the butcher knife and pointed to the fact that it was found beneath the body as proof of his innocence. The prosecution, however, introduced witnesses in support of its contention that Galley planted the knife under Cochran's body in an effort to effect an alibi after he had murdered Cochran. You know, there's no sense in stuff like this. You know, there's no reason to be found in it. You know, it's a man who was taking care of his daughter. You know, he was taking care of his family. Hibbard was doing exactly what he should have been doing. Guys, y'all have a really good day, and thank y'all for coming along with me, keeping me company today. Appreciate y'all, and feel free to subscribe. We sure, you know, we'd appreciate to have, you know, as much support as we can get. We'll appreciate it, of course. But anyway, y'all have a really good day, and we will see you next time on the Hillbilly Files. Very cold Leo out.